Wow, DP invincibility is a complete joke in this game. How that trade? You can't get clipped now. I need a moment. Guys, I need a moment. I think I can kill. Oh my god! Wow! That was max damage. He thinks that's safe, but it's not. He thinks that's safe, but it's not. It's really not safe, my man. I can punish you on reaction. Adjustment meaning fireball spam. Spam, spam, spam. Spam, spam, spam. Spam until the opponent does not can. That was the best that I had in mind, guys. Will EXDP there. Spam until the opponent does not can. Oh my god. That's bad. That's bad, guys. I'm gonna have to take the stun here. Not a big deal, though. I can spam until the opponent does not can. But he's gonna predict it, so we're gonna grab here. We're gonna grab. I should have spammed. Okay, I'm gonna destroy this guy. No way I'm gonna lose 2-0 again. Okay, like you'll see, you'll see. I know what I have to do, so let's just do it. Making up new combos just for this guy. Wow, that was optimal. Jesus Christ. I got him good. Let's go. Boom! Patience! I should have known, seriously. Tornado? What tornado? He's so scared. He's so fucking scared for no reason. Oh, I guess now I understand why you were scared. Oh! Accidental bait! Let's go! Always ready, nice. Oh, you just killed yourself, my man. Ooh. No, he was in total control up until that point. Oh, what? What? What just happened? By the way, sorry for like the absolutely horrible yelling of mine, but that just literally caught me off guard. Look at this glowing effect. This should be like standard. Oh my god, what the fuck? What? He knew I was gonna do that. I couldn't. Hey, what the? What the hell is this? Oh my god, I got obliterated. I got obliterated. Invincible backdash. Obviously, he's got that as well. What did he just chip me with that? What the fuck? Ow! Come on, dude. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. Oh, no! He's actually got resurrection! Fuck my life.
You lose.
God damn it. Oh! I tried to donkey kick, and for some reason I didn't get it. This is gonna be extremely difficult to do. You can go for the full thing, by the way. Okay, that was 4. No! 7. I got 7 again. Ah, God. No! I swear to God, number 8 is faster than the rest. Maybe I'm going crazy, but I feel like the number 8 is faster than the rest. Oh! Oh my God, I got the full thing. And I told you guys, hit number 8 trolls you because it's actually way faster than the rest. Holy shit. This is difficult, Jesus. How long did that take me? That took me like, what, 2 hours to get once? I just died. Oh! 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 No! Sour spaghetti! Oh, let's go. I just want to go again. Ryu Zets has a habit of not rematching me for some reason. But honestly, on this one, I kind of get it. That must be infuriating. I love the light DP. It's so good, you know? It really covers a lot of stupid situations like these. Poor Lily.
That's a fucking joke. I'm not gonna look! He knows I'm gonna jab to bait it, so he does one after. Do you know what I mean? Jimmy's not good at this game. He's not good at Street Fighter. He's a fucking scrub, bro. Fucking winds me up. I can't play this guy seriously. I can't take him seriously. But do you know what's happening? I'm not mashing against him. Because I'm trying to fucking play. Fucking scrub. Then why winds me up, bro? He winds me up. He's not a fucking player, bro. He's a YOLO little fucking piece of shit.
No CPT today, no. Next week.
He knows. He must listen to me, bro. He must listen to me, man. He must listen to me, bro. I'm match again, for fuck's sake. This fucking dude, bro. It's a fucking scrub. That's his back because he knows I'm gonna wait for a fucking match. Fucking scumbag. Fucking game winds me up. Fucking shit, dude. He always be fucking shit. Fucking scrub! This guy's not good at the game.
Took that
You
risk.
can't play with him. He plays like a scrub. He's not good. He's not fucking
Took
good at
the
this
win
game.
streak.
He's been beating bums, bro. Being beaten bums.
Ah, those EXT
When Street Fighter 6 comes out, I'm gonna beat you
damn.
10-0 again. You know that. I'm gonna fucking
Okay.
ruin you. Bro, you fucking
Is and will
scrub.
forever be my nemesis in 5.
Jesus, bro. I'm trying to play the game here. I might as well just play like a YOLO bomb against you, Jimmy. Fucking hell, this guy's turd, bro.
Round 1.
Fucking turd, man.
Fight.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. A little bit late today, but lots of content ahead, so I really hope you're looking forward to that. So I have some stuff prepared for today. I have already made 2 videos today. One has already been released. The second one will release at 9:30 p.m. today. CET on YouTube. If you want to check it out already, if you are a member, you can already check it out. It's the crosscut tutorial that I have promised for a while now. Finally got to do it. I really hope you're gonna like it, and I actually had a lot more to say on the topic than I thought. Like last video that I made about the crosscut TP in Street Fighter 5, it was like a 4-minute video, and it was the same style. And this time around it's actually 8 minutes, and that's purely because I needed to cover more information around like what you should and shouldn't be looking for, so you can actually make it work. So it's quite interesting. Anyways, good to see you, Presugita, Red the Don X, Jaime, what's up? We have a J Blue on YouTube, Marcel, good evening, Christian, what's up? Zendu, Lil Fox, how's it going? Tonic Eclipse, Applenator, BK, Sunstar, Playa Cree, welcome, my man. We have Sade, Chaostrophic, of course, what's up, my man? Atari88, Charge Heavy, how's it going? Terraboss, what's up, my man? Mendingamon, good to see you. Talani, Fabricio, what's up? Juanes, what's up, my man? Argil, Horse's son, good to see you. Wolf, what's up? Finally, after a while, I can watch Jimmy stream and not just drop by to say hi. Let's go. Let's go. What's the hardest Street Fighter game to play in your opinion? I think it depends on how you define it. I mean, some of you guys with the title that I chose for Twitch and YouTube for today, you probably already know what I'm referencing, but I'm gonna show the clip later on and then give my 2 cents on it. Wow, like what is this? Like it's really annoying to oh wow, it's gone. Okay. I can see now, guys. Wanderer, what's up, my man? DJ Wither, Joker's Marks, MacBane, good to see you. Love some crosscut content. I've been improving with them on Hitbox. I do find them more difficult to get in 6. Yeah, because they are more difficult. How do you edit your avatar? Where?
Here comes a new challenger.
On YouTube? In settings, probably? Am I excited for Akuma? Yeah, this should be good. Let's play. Let's stay within 1800 if possible. There we go.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh, he was at 6 wins. That's it. Anyone here who knows why hitboxes cost this much? Probably because they're fairly new. And actually, I can tell you exactly why. Because they're low volume, that's why. That's the main reason. It's the same reason why arcade sticks are so expensive. They're low volume. Not a lot, like no company is producing like high quantities. The more you can produce of a product, the more economically viable it becomes. So you can make it cheaper. But you can't, because fighting games are like a niche category, and within that niche category, you have the problem of like only a few people play on Hitbox within fighting games. So like not a lot of sales. You can get a cheap leverless, but not. I mean, it's probably gonna be trash as well. Oh wow, okay, I was not expecting that. Let's see, reset. Oh. Nice. Keyboard to hitbox probably not going to feel very different. Accident. I really thought I was in range for that, but I wasn't. Should have just played it safe, honestly. I kill? No. Let's not kill. Wow. I missed the cancel there somehow. Ah, really my bad. Unnecessary loss of points there. I guess this is why you... not too bad, actually, for my warm-up match. I missed that super too. Let me see. God, feels good. Pretty much they made all super motions the same, unlike in previous titles. It's either 236, 236 or 632, 146. 632 146. Whose super is done with a half circle motion into a forward punch? What does that mean? All super motions are the same in Street Fighter 6, unlike previous titles. Like, first of all, that's not true at all. Secondly, the super motion, just like any other motion, has very specific rules around it, and these rules, while different in other games, were obviously consistent among characters. There has always been like exceptions to rules. I was talking about Strive, okay. Okay. There is no reason really to switch from a keyboard to a hitbox. Like, do you feel like you're being held back by the keyboard? If so, why? A hitbox is legit just a keyboard with a different layout. I'll actually be making a video about inputs very soon, already planned out, because the inputs, like, there is so much misinformation on inputs in Street Fighter 6, it's unbelievable. And I want to clarify that with a video. I want to explain frame by frame how inputs work, because we have this information. We know from a technical level every frame and every possible input that is required for almost all of the moves. There are some weird motions, but for the most part, we know exactly how they work. Like, frame by frame exactly how they work. You're doing crosscut in 6 by doing 6, 3, 2, 1, 4, 6. Yeah, but that's not the motion. The motion is 6, 2, 1 punch. You only need 6, 2, 1, but most people will not be able to avoid the 3 input. You should actually actively avoid the 4. Don't go for a back input. It's actually going to make your input, the probability of you getting the crosscut, it's going to dramatically decrease the input, like, probability. I received a custom invite from somebody who has my name. What? How's that even possible? Wait, how's that even possible? You could just name yourself. Should I reward this type of behavior? Keyboards are not tournament illegal, no. In fact, last year I was at Capcom Cup and one of the players was there with a keyboard and he played on that keyboard. I know that. So it was Street Fighter 5, but I'd be shocked if they changed the rules. That wouldn't make any sense. Gotta defeat him now, I guess. Jimmy, can you explain how sometimes when doing an input during a match and nothing happens, do you feel that can be a glitch in the game? And it's a JP. Wow, that's like the worst thing about this situation. I mean, oh wow, no, it's Rashid? What? Okay, no, I gotta fight MDZ Jimmy versus MDZ Jimmy. Let's go. Keyboards don't have any SOCD cleaning, right?
Here comes a new challenger.
If they don't have any SOCD rules, then software SOCD is gonna apply, which is fine. That's not how SOCD works. If you don't define a, if you don't have hardware SOCD, then software SOCD is gonna decide the behavior. And Street Fighter 6 is obviously gonna give you the right input. And that's the only requirement. It's nonsense to say that there's no hardware SOCD. No hardware SOCD is the preferred thing for Capcom, because it means you're not altering the game. I mean, at least he's not really an imposter. I mean, he has the French flag, right? He could have chosen the German flag, but he used the French flag. Uh-oh. Maybe that's a mistake, but it's a ton of damage, so I want to go for it. It's definitely a mistake, by the way. I should have done a different combo, which would have put me in a much safer spot. There we go. Nah, but I'm not gonna go again. I had to give him one game, though. GG's, my man. Die sollen einfach nur Sticks und Pads zulassen und gut ist. Warum? Warum soll das so sein? Pads haben die meisten Vorteile. Soll man das jetzt verbieten oder was? Das ist eine richtig bescheuerte Diskussion. Also wirklich bescheuerte Diskussion von Leuten, die keine Ahnung haben. Okay, what is SOCD? Okay, what are SOCD rules? Normally, when you use a controller and you're playing, let's say you're playing on a pad or an arcade stick, and you press up. While you're pressing up, you cannot press down at the same time on a PlayStation pad or on an arcade stick. It's physically impossible to do that, right? So now with pads, with hitboxes and keyboards, that's a separate thing, because every input that you do is simply a button press. So obviously you can press up and down at the same time. You can press left and right at the same time. So because, I mean, this was before hitbox, by the way. Keyboard was the first reason why SOCD needed to be thought of. Well, what is SOCD? Well, the game needs to know what is it supposed to do when you're pressing opposite directions at the same time. And this is simply hard-coded into the game. This is called software SOCD, okay? The game literally just checks when you're inputting multiple things in multiple directions. Hey, if you pressed up and down at the same time, I'm gonna give you a neutral state. Nothing is going to happen, as if you had pressed no button. If you press left and right at the same time, that's the resulting input as well. Now, how can you circumvent this behavior? Well, with hardware SOCD. If you're playing on a hitbox, or let's say a specialized keyboard, and like you can tell the board if you're pressing up and down at the same time, it's only supposed to send the up key or the down key to the console or the game. This is how you can circumvent that. That's hardware SOCD, okay? And this is exactly what is forbidden. If you have a hardware SOCD capable device, then you need to make sure it's compliant with the rules. This is why the Brook boards needed to be patched, because they had a different forced behavior. They had different hardware SOCD than Capcom liked, so this was patched. But if you don't state any rules, if you don't have a PCB that is actually messing with the inputs before the inputs actually get sent to the game, then no problem occurs, because the game knows how to handle up and down at the same time. With Hitbox and keyboards, you don't have the slide that you need on pad. What does SOCD stand for? Actually, let me look it up. SOCD meaning simultaneous opposing cardinal directions. That's what it means. Okay? So an SOCD cleaner is simply the board, like your PCB. This is hardware SOCD. When people talk about SOCD cleaners, this is what they mean. Cleaning the SOCD is just defining what happens when you're pressing up and down at the same time, or left and right at the same time. And this is why keyboard is not a problem. If there's no rule, if there's no SOCD cleaner attached, then the game is gonna do it. It's no problem. Yo, Pai, good to see you. You're the one, like, why didn't you tell me that when you messaged me? I didn't really go much more into detail about, like, your app that you developed, but it would have been more interesting for me to know who you actually are. Mods were, like, asking me if you should get banned or not, so you should be careful with this kind of stuff, so I can give my mods a heads up, you know? You can run any SOCD option you want in ranked. Of course you can, but why would you do that? You can remap D-pad directions on PlayStation via the accessibility options. Okay. So let's say it's technically possible to cause SOCD issues with PlayStation Pad. Okay, probably true. Omega Dude! Grüße zurück. Vielen Dank für die 5 Monate. Yeah, ranked is not tournament regulated, but if you're a tournament player, why would you play on the wrong settings? Like, the funny part about this is, the more we figured out about the new SOCD rules, the more people agree that the new rules actually improved Hitbox. We have new shortcuts because of the new rules, and they were not possible before as a result. So why would you want to play with the old SOCD rules when that's weaker? Okay, up priority does have some cool shortcuts, sure, but it's definitely, like, it's a trade-off, you know? I wouldn't recommend anyone learning the game the wrong way, especially if you're even like 1% considering playing competitively. Just doesn't make any sense. Online. Yes. Ice cream so good.
Special online. Special online.
Do you know Furin is about to release a new Hitbox model? For real? I didn't know that at all. Like, damn, even though I'm almost like daily in contact with Furin Arcade, I didn't know about the new Hitbox model.
Online. Versus online. Versus online. Versus online.
My fault. You'll see an announcement soon, okay? Actually, I'm surprised there hasn't been a tweet yet. Wow, greedy as hell. Whoa. Why does he play like he's completely... It's really odd gameplay. Hi Jimmy, schade, dass du kein Deutsch sprichst. Ja, ist echt schade. Wäre cool, wenn es anders wäre. This guy. This guy got it down every time, damn. Is it PlayStation 5 compatible now? I mean, I've been using this model of the Hitbox for like a year now, and it's been natively supported for like more than a year at the very least, you know? What switches? Silent Red switches. Cherry Mix Silent Reds. I also got silvers actually. I like the two buttons on the very edge are silver switches. Those are like the standard ones that people take. I like them. I like both of them, but I really like the fact that they're so silent. The silent reds are really cool. Ugh, this guy. Why are you so annoying? Let me focus here. Finally getting a read. Oh, nice. Chun Chun. Chun Chun Chun. Am I reacting to James Chen's video? No. You want to see what I'm reacting to? Or should we wait? Let's wait a little bit longer, okay? Let's make some progress. We're about to reach the new personal best. Bei Smack und dir kann man sich schon mal antun. Was kann man sich da antun? Easy Money Sniper, thanks for the follow, by the way. Appreciate it. That kills you. Whoa, that just whiffed. That is so risky. Wir sind amüsant. Ich danke dir und froh, dass du das so siehst. Oh, I missed it. Okay. Moment, Lulu. war bei dir?
Papa,
Was denn?
wenn ihr was machst, was abwählen, dann mach Schuss.
Okay, mach ich dann. He talks now. He's been talking for like 2.5 years. Ah, I was like a frame off. Ah, I was a frame off there. I knew it was coming, I just mistimed it. Why is there like such a hot debate on the channel? When I would hate Drive Rush, then don't play SF6. Very simple. How did this start? Let me see. I love... no. Don't need to react to James Chen's video in order to know that KO 13 trials were insanely hard, like 30 times harder than any trial since Street Fighter 5. Bist du der beste Ryu-Spieler zurzeit? Der allerbeste auf der Welt, ja. Let me see. Where did this escalate? I'm drive rushing to the tax office. Was that your little man, Lionel? Yo, Rue, good to see you.
Wow.
Lionel, yeah.
Enjoyable watching your content, and you would be
That was
proud.
my boy, yeah.
I made Master Rank, and I live in Africa, South Africa. Might try a Capcom event soon.
Yeah, YMK. Go, go, go. Thank you so much for the 41 months. I really appreciate that, my man. 41 months. Wow, it's always enjoyable watching your content, and you would be proud. Finally made Master Rank. Yo, congrats. I missed that part. I live in Africa, South Africa. Might try Capcom events soon. You definitely should. It's gonna make you... it's always gonna make you better if you compete. If that's what you want to do, then go for it. can like the game, but we don't have to like all the mechanics. I never understood this part, okay? I think some people are just way too insecure about the fact that there is no such thing as the perfect fighting game, okay? Every game, almost like by definition, is gonna have its pros and cons. There is no such thing as a perfect game because that's subjective. You can't objectively, or you can only partially objectively determine what should be in a good fighting game. One aspect that you will never be able to that's always going to be subjective is fun. It's really simple. They're just things that you can add to your game that are simply fun. And it happens to be one of those things that are really, really important to hook people, right? And you cannot you cannot find like objective measures for that. So regardless of what game you play, whether it's Street Fighter 4, 5, and 6, you will always find something, if you're really looking for it, that you like/dislike. Is there something I dislike about Street Fighter 6? Absolutely. Were there things I hated about Street Fighter 4? Absolutely. Are there things that are really great about Street Fighter 5? Absolutely. If any of those questions were answered with no from you, then I think you should, then I truly believe that you should think hard about that. Do you speak Bavarian? Bavarian? No. Fortunately, I don't. I do speak a dialect in German that is outside of the regular German, but it's not that. Street Fighter 5 is how I got my friend group into fighting games. Carmine, good to see you, by the way. Gibt halt immer geistig Verwirrte im Chat, was soll ich sagen? Ja, aber guck mal, man muss doch nicht gleich hier so ausfällig werden, beide Seiten, ja? Immer ruhig bleiben. Grey Fox, good to see you, my man. Er war einfach der Meinung, dass wenn jemand Drive Rush mag, Low Rank sein muss. Ja, auf jeden Fall. Also er hat damit angefangen. War schon provozierend, aber ich meine, danach hast du ja auch nicht besser geantwortet. I hope everything is cool, my man. Vego, good to see you. So outside of German, or like the German dialect that I speak is called Saarländisch. And obviously the reason why it's called that is because it's I'm from the Saarland in Germany. You don't have a typical German accent when speaking English. You live outside of Germany. No, I don't. I've just been a streamer for too long. I'm a boomer, you know? At least I'm a boomer if we're talking about Twitch age. Hope you're doing good. I haven't been able to catch a stream in a minute. Glad you're... I mean, this is a good moment, I guess, to show you an old clip, okay? So 2014, you were actually able to hear the accent a little bit more. There you go.
Oh, and hi Ricky. By the way, guys, I've finally added a donation button. So if anyone would like to donate, I would.
I live right at the French border.
What? I got my first donation. Okay, I got my first donation. Wow, cool. Right now I don't know who donated, but I'm gonna look it up soon. Maybe I can see my own in my own stream who donated.
Those were the good old times when I only had one
yeah,
monitor.
By the way, guys.
I couldn't even
So
see
you're
who
gonna
was
get
doing
this,
something.
text-to-speech program reads out the. Oh man, another donation? Thank you guys. Why Sensei donated? Wow, thank you.
That was not my first
Sensei.
stream.
That's a
I've
pretty cool amount.
had been streaming for like
Why
6
does it
months
show in
at
US
this point.
dollars? It should
Something
show
like that?
in euro. Maybe I need to change something. But thank you very much. But thank you very much. I wanted to buy a second monitor for the stream because this is getting really annoying. I'm having, as you know, problems with the Twitch chat. Currently it's working, but I cannot get it to work consistently. So I think with the donations I'm gonna buy a
Nylish.
second monitor first if I ever get that
The way
much
you
money.
get coaching,
But yeah, currently that's probably.
I'll tell you how coaching works, okay?
Oh, yeah, and by the way, guys, I didn't. Maybe there's an option or there's a way to automatically show the
How old was
the
I?
recent donations on stream, but
24.
currently I have to do it manually, so you will only see it next time.
So yeah, good old days. Good old days. Back in my days. Speaking of back in my days, we're going to be having a moment like that in a second, okay? I mean, I want to talk about that. Yeah, I'm listening. Nylish, good to see you, by the way. I really appreciate the support. I also appreciate you wanting to pay me. At the moment, the only way to buy coaching is through YouTube level 2 memberships, okay? So if you hit the join button and you click on level 2 memberships, it's a very expensive option. Then that's how you can order coaching. I've done the coaching that you're going to be receiving has been done many times. I have done so many coaching sessions in Street Fighter 5, in Street Fighter 6, not so much, but it's the same the procedure that I'm going to go to in order to teach you. I'm going to be looking at 3 of your replays. I'm going to write everything down, okay? I will write everything down, and then we will talk on Discord for like an hour, maybe longer if necessary. And I'm going to break down your entire gameplay and tell you what you should and should be working on, and the stuff that you're doing well, and the next steps that you should be taking. It's really not necessary to see more than 3 replays. But yeah, basically we'll go over everything, and then at the end I'll give you all the notes that I made with timestamps, so you can actually take a look at the replays that I analyzed and see my notes. We will have talked about it at that point, but it's going to be an additional measure to keep revisiting the content and my comments on it. This is how I do the coaching. But keep in mind, it's an expensive option. Level 2 memberships required for that. And with that being said, Devil, you crazy man, 10 gifted subs. I really appreciate that. Dude. Thank you so much. Raptor the Soul, enjoy your gifted sub. Lazy G Money, Knuckle Dew. We have Spoons, Call Me Cap, Louis Dio SF, Project AEX, Sai the Catboy, Alexis Vita. We have Freestyle, Freestyle Fletcher. Yes. Enjoy your gifted subs. Those were all. I think that's everyone. Yeah. Enjoy your gifted subs. Jimmy, in your opinion, how many hours a week should you play in order for the coaching to be worth it? That's really up to you. Like, the good thing is, early on, you don't have to play much to see results, but coaching isn't really worth it much super early on either, because you're going to be making progress just by playing. So like, if you don't play the game, if you have 10 hours into the game and then you order the coaching, what am I supposed to tell you about the gameplay? You're absolute dog shit and you're not doing anything right. I mean, I think you know that after 10 hours, right? Like, I kind of like I kind of recommend try to get to a point. I mean, why would you want coaching in the first place? You would want coaching because you're stuck somewhere, right? If you don't play, you're not stuck. Like, you're supposed to be playing somewhat regularly at the very least, and then you get to a point where you feel like you're not improving. And then coaching is really beneficial, right? So after that, it's kind of dependent on where exactly you got stuck and your mindset around that. There are people who, like, you show them a little bit, and they will, with very little effort, improve drastically all of a sudden. And there are others who are not going to make this drastic change. It really depends on your attitude and how much you personally need to take advice and then turn that into gameplay. The conversion rate is dependent on you. It's hard to predict, but definitely, the better you get, the slower the conversion rate. Obviously, I mean, I can maybe play 2 hours a week. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you play once a week and you're having a 2-hour session. By the way, I kind of recommend if you don't have a lot of time, it's better to have one long session than to split it up in a lot of very, very short sessions. Just as a benchmark, if you play 4 times a week and you only spend 30 minutes each, you're gonna get better results playing 1 time a week and spending 2 hours instead, because the first couple of matches that you're going to be playing are just warm-up matches. Like, your muscle memory is being like you don't get to a point where you actually improve because you're just remembering what you already learned. So you need to get to a point where you're like, oh, okay, I've established this, and now the rest of the time that I'm spending for today is actually improvement, you know? You can get hard stuck in Street Fighter 6? Yes, you can. Yo, Johan, what's up, my man? Good to see you. Want a series about moving up and is mindful of their replays? They can see what needs improvement. I totally agree with that. I don't advertise coaching for this reason, by the way. Like, I don't think... you don't really need coaching. Like, if you're the type of player that says, hey, if you ask yourself frequently what needs to be improved on, then you'll figure it out. But obviously, getting a different perspective and a knowledgeable perspective, that's going to be helpful regardless of like how you look at it. But coaching is never necessary, and I don't advertise for it normally unless people like ask me to, you know. I've been a weightlifting coach for over a decade, and a good coach is invaluable for directing your attention. True. That's true, but from my experience, you can become an above average player in Street Fighter just by spending the time. I'm not sure like how much does this actually translate to weightlifting? Do you become above average at weightlifting just by putting in 50 hours into it? Or 100 hours into it? Like, I don't think so. So the improvement early on is huge. You can get better than most people very quickly when it comes to really anything competitively, and that's because most people are not spending any time on it. Oh, I can't actually lift weights that easily anymore. I have an injury in my left shoulder, so I almost stopped entirely. I'm trying to get back into it, by the way. Yesterday I went on a jogging session, so I'm trying to get fit again. But I have to figure out what to do with the left shoulder. I've been having pain with it for many years now, and can't figure it out. I think most people will reach something like Diamond League if they actually played regularly and attempted to improve. I think Diamond League, I mean, just take a look at the rank distribution here, right? Most people appear to be reaching platinum level. I wonder, okay, what is the average playtime in Street Fighter? Can we correlate that with how fast it is to get to platinum? Right in the fields, Jimmy. Yeah, get good, scrub. So just so you know, like with this graph is actually quite interesting, because give me a second. This graph is really interesting because it means like we're currently between 1800 and 1900, and according to the graph, it puts us at zero, like the top 0.16% of the player base. Okay, and once we reach 1900, we're in the top 0.07%. Like at that point, like it gets kind of crazy, right? But take a look at the drop off. 1500 MR, like a lot of players. Like Master Rank is actually pretty highly populated if you think about it. 8.37%. That's a lot. Most of these are in the 1500 range, right? And then the drop off from 50 to 1600 is huge, and it gets even worse beyond that. So that's where like the top end is, you know? That's where you're like, okay, how good can you actually become if you try your best, you have the right attitude, and you have a ton of time to do that. That's where you get. Bobby Fischer, the chess player, thought that being in physical shape and having good cardio actually made him better. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's, I think that's true. And by the way, I think that's true for anything that you do. If you have a healthy body, like what is this saying? Like if you have a healthy body, you're also gonna have a healthier mind around that. And I definitely believe in that. And the last couple of years have actually been really rough for me. I haven't been able to exercise much, but now I'm trying to get back to that, specifically because I know it puts me in a better state. Like if I want to get better at Street Fighter, one of the things that I recommend doing is get in shape. Smiley Bones, thank you so much, by the way, for becoming a level 1 member. I really appreciate that, the support. I really, really do. I have a few diamond players. We got to 1728 and then rip. Yeah, that can happen. But started a new account, let's see, when I switched to Leverless a month ago, still struggling to plat diamond with it. Oh yeah, it's gonna take a while to switch controllers. It's gonna take a while to switch any controller. Genetics take a bigger part in bodybuilding. I mean, part of it, sure. Gaming? I mean, what makes you a good gamer? Entertainment, goddammit. Okay, sure. My bad. hand-eye coordination. You think you're coordinating between your hands and your eyes when you're playing Street Fighter? You think that's your main job? on high level, that's not the main thing that you're doing.
Here comes a new challenger.
I mean, it's part of it, sure.
Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight.
Okay, what's the right punish for that? I really thought it was gonna work. This is basically the new Fang, yeah. I'm still using the Furin, yep.
Round 1. Fight.
Will not be switching anytime soon. Ah, I messed it up.
Round 2. Fight.
She can't be fixed. I can fix her. I could have killed you there. Which Street Fighter did you start playing with? Street Fighter 4. Whoa. I potentially died here, right? I almost lost this one. I have played Street Fighter 2, but only as a kid. I was mashing buttons effectively. Like, you can't really call that play the game, you know? Did I really play the game at that point?
Let's go, Jimmy.
Let's go, Jimmy. Thank you so much for the Vegeta. 103 months. Those are the MVPs. Thank you so much, my man. Appreciate it. ICD took the last 2 meetings kind of hard. Well, tell him get good, scrub, when you see him next time. No matter how toxic, you can fix them all. Just hide your wallet and prescription drugs. Ah, man. Dude just ignored me. Who ignored you? Matt's Bay. What did he say? I'm getting my revenge. Jimmy, I'm at Diamond 4 now. I'm getting close to Master. I'm going for that rematch. Sure, let's go. Maybe we should be talking about like the title for today's stream. We should talk about that in a bit.
Here comes a new challenge.
Oh, another DJ is coming your way. Lots of skills involved. What was the nostalgia dwelling title for? An interesting discussion. I will try Mortal Kombat at some point, sure. Quite get him there. So that means I need to do better. I need to force his... Oh man. The only fireball that I threw, of course, got jumped. No rematch. Gotta love that one. We have ways of ignoring your sub notification regardless of the months. Oh, was it? Oh yeah, I meant tomorrow. What was that about? I meant tomorrow. Fist of the North Star as well. I missed a couple of messages apparently. Thank you so much, by the way, guys. I really appreciate that. Was like, did these actually pop up? I didn't see them. Oh great, my fireball didn't come out. Great. I should show you why my fireball did not come out there. I should really show you. Like, you'd be stunned. Like, I'm figuring out new ways how Drive Rush messes with players. this. Really want the burnout here. Cannot do a level. There we go. Yo, Sean, my man.
Hey Jimmy. Bye Jimmy. Fatherhood be busy. Send help.
Oh, I know how it feels. Thank you so much for your continued support, my man, and good luck, dude. Who's gonna send help to me? Can't get a single read here. Crazy. There we go.
Real wins.
Like, pretty sure it's always the same frame window, honestly. What do you mean? Because it wouldn't make any sense for it to be different depending on the situation. This feels like that nonetheless because of pressure. What window? Let me see. I offer a trade. You take my son for like a year. In return, I'll grind under your alias as Ryu. It's a win. Yeah, I don't think my wife would be happy with that. Wait a minute, neither would I. You keep your son, my man. Special canceling? What about special canceling? Something about the window. Okay, what's the specific question? Like, the cancel window feels something different than it... Sometimes different than in other situations. Like what? Like, I need an example. The same attack into a cancel feels different. Let me see, like the cancel window... The DI doesn't come out, for instance. You mean when you're counter DIing? You can't DI back when you're... What does LMK mean? Yeah, crouching medium kick. The reason why you cannot counter DI that easily is because the crouching medium kick window, cancel window, is incredibly short. That's the only reason. Counter DIing, by the way, by design, is dynamic. The reason why the cancel window is different is because it's dependent on when exactly did you hit your button. If you're doing a hard punch, or like let's say a medium punch, and the opponent is doing like a last second DI on it, then the window of opportunity for you to react to the DI and then cancel into like counter it like this is different. It's different from as if the opponent, like if the opponent does the DI first, and then as a response you're in the startup of a medium punch, you're gonna get a lot more frames to react. Even though it's the same cancel window. The cancel window is not the bottleneck. The bottleneck is what are you actually doing before the DI happens. Because in the startup of the DI, hit stun is gonna occur, right? And then, like, let's take medium punch as an example, okay? How many cancelable frames does medium punch actually have? Oh, we don't have this information, but let's just say you can cancel medium punch up until, let's say, frame 10, okay? So now, and how many frames does it have? Well, it has 10 active frames. It has 4 active frames and startup of 5, right? So, I mean, startup of 6, but the 6th startup frame is the first active frame. So, on frame 9, you're running out of active frames, okay? And normally, when you're doing a medium punch, you're hitting someone on frame 6 of the move. And remember, frame 10, that's when you would normally, that's normally the last frame that you would be able to cancel, okay? So now you're doing a medium punch at the very same moment your active frames become there when the drive impact occurs. Then you have hit stop to apply. So that gives you a lot of frames, but I don't know how many frames in Street Fighter 6, I can't look it up unfortunately, but hit stop applies. But then because the starting point was the first active frame and not the startup, all of a sudden, like, you lost potentially 5 frames to react. Because if instead you had done the medium punch and the DI, if they had been pressed on the same frame, you would have been able to see, and the cancel window for the medium punch would have been 5 frames later. Maybe it's like, this is actually too complicated the way I'm saying this. Cancel hit confirm window is not the same thing as the cancel window. Hit confirm window means hit stop. That's not the same thing. That's not the value that I'm looking for. So obviously that's going to be a dynamic thing, okay? That's all you need to know. But there was some other question that I wanted to get into and I forgot about it. Wie viele Active Frames hat Crouching Medium Kick? 3. Aber das ist nicht das Wichtige. Die Active Frames sagen uns nichts aus über die Cancel Frames. So unfortunately, and this is something you really need to understand, cancel frames are not tied to active frames or recovery frames or anything like that. They are chosen by the move. They are custom with every move. Okay? So this is very important to understand. You can visualize the cancel window in Street Fighter 6. Let me see, where is it? You can visualize it, but the game will not tell you the window. Cancel timing. Or will it? Okay, what does that actually do? When enabled, your character will change color. And now compare that to something like a hard punch. I kind of wish they would just give us the information. It basically runs out immediately. See how long he's red on the crouching medium punch? If I do the crouching medium kick, it runs out immediately. Where are you getting like this information from, Nessie? The hit confirm window is not the same thing as the, or is there, like, where are you getting a cancel hit confirm window? What are you using for that? Let me see. Super combo. Give me a link. Give me a link. I think there's an option, cancel timing display. Yeah, I'm using that right now, but it doesn't give me the value. I would love to have the frames. It doesn't let you post links? What doesn't let you post links? Oh, YouTube doesn't let you post links. Oh, my bad. On Twitch, though, do they really have cancel window information? Let me see. If so, then that would be great, actually. But yeah, it does. It does say cancel hit confirm window. I'm +7 on this one. What does it say for hard punch? Supposedly it says 19 frames. Okay, no, this is probably correct information then. Okay, nice. We actually have this information. Very nice. Okay, so what does it say for crouching medium kick? 13 frames. Yeah. So there you go. Okay, nice. Thank you so much. Nessie, you were right after all. Owners Maximus, thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate it. How old am I? Too old. 34. Chad 1, Jimmy 0. Honestly, I didn't believe they would actually offer the cancel window timing for that. Usually there's a hit confirm flag where they will show you, okay, how much time do you actually have to whatever. It's fine. It's good. Let's focus here. Wow.
Round 2. Fight.
Nice.
Ryu wins.
Oh yeah, it doesn't just look dumb as hell. It is dumb as hell. Panna Cotta-san. Hi, Jimmy. Hi. Hope you're doing great. It's the best Honda interaction. Okay. I think before we continue, maybe I should finally address the discussion topic for today, and the commentary that I want to do, right? And then afterwards we have some time to talk about this with chat as well, right? There's been an interesting clip that I saw on Twitter with Christy and Reinhard, and I think the discussion topic itself is quite dynamic and actually not that easy, but let's just watch the clip first. How about we just watch the clip? We'll watch the clip first, and then I'll give you my thoughts around it.
The quality of games have gotten easier. So now people that weren't even able to touch these guys before are now able to do okay, or be on par, or even win sometimes. Take like a MOV or like a Haitani or someone, and play those guys on Street Fighter 6 or Street Fighter 5. You might do all right. You might even win. But play either of those on Street Fighter 3 and you'll get cooked.
Done.
It will be 20-0. Like,
3.
people don't understand the difference in the actual levels of the guy. It's not that the guy is good, but you've improved and now you're on the level. No, the game has given you access to him because the game is easier now. And you can tell it's easier now by how many good players there are. Like, everyone's good now.
Yes.
That says everything. Why isn't there a limited playing field to who gets good? Why does everyone get to get good? Because the game's easy. Third Strike, you weren't seeing hordes of people get good because the game was mad hard.
Okay, so that's the clip. So I think there are a lot of perspectives on this. I wanna give you guys mine, obviously. I think the idea that you can tell that a game is easy because of how many strong players there are is fundamentally flawed. And I think it completely, maybe I should have a talk, a podcast with Ryan about this. I'm sure he's gonna have some interesting thoughts to share. But I think generally Ryan is wrong about the idea that MOV is good in Third Strike and he's not as dominant in other games because the games are easier. I think it's fundamentally... I think it's actually disrespectful to the strong players in the current era. It also doesn't actually... it doesn't... there's no explanation if you're saying, okay, the game is so easy, anyone can master it, right? Then we shouldn't have, players that are consistently doing well. If the game has been butchered to the point where anyone can be good, then players like Mena RD or Chris Wong, the players that you've seen consistently perform well in tournaments for the last year, they shouldn't be able to do that. You're implying at that point that they're just getting lucky, which I don't think is true at all. There's clearly a pattern and there's a difference in skill. And if you take a look at let's take MOV as an example, right? Because MOV unbeatable in Third Strike. Okay, what happened in Street Fighter 4 though? Was Street Fighter 4 that easy that you can argue that MOV wasn't as good anymore? No, the player base is just bigger for Street Fighter 4, so it got more difficult to win. That's the natural thing that happens. If you have 10 times the player base, you're gonna have 10 times the player base, 10 times the players who are gonna be good. That obviously increases as well. For those who don't know who MOV is, it doesn't really matter. He's a strong player from Japan. but I really think there's something fundamentally flawed about comparing the Third Strike era to Street Fighter 6 era, because you have to understand in Third Strike there was no online play. The only way to get better at the game is by playing strong players. Okay, where are like the strongest players for Third Strike? Well, Japan, just like any other Street Fighter game, they're in Japan. How do you get good in Japan? Well, you go to the arcades, and the strong arcades where the strong players are, that's where you're gonna get good. So the limiting factor, like really, like the implication that MOV reached heights that are impossible to reach, he bottlenecked effectively in Street Fighter 6 or really other games, is laughable in my opinion. I think like you have to really ignore reality to make that statement. The bottleneck back then was how many good players can you gather in one arcade? That's the bottleneck. And I really think this is important to recognize that it was incredibly difficult back in the days to even get any kind of information. Like, to argue that the skill level was higher than it is right now because the games were more skillful or allowed for a higher skill ceiling, even if that was true, I think that wouldn't even be, like, that wouldn't even matter, because the limiting factor was really, there was no, you couldn't get information on the internet. The only way to get better at the game was by playing at an arcade and hoping that the strong players were actually there. If the strong players weren't in your region, you had to move to a different place where they had an arcade with strong players. So it was absurdly difficult to gain skill in Third Strike. Comparing that to the Street Fighter 6 era is insane. Like, even if you take a look at Street Fighter 4 and 5, those were much more popular games than Third Strike. Both Street Fighter 4 and 5 had a significantly higher player base. And in Street Fighter 6, by the way, we've increased approximately tenfold. Like, I've looked at the Steam charts, it's actually insane. At least 10 times growth when it comes to active player base. Obviously, if you're gonna have 10 times more players, you're gonna have 10 times more strong players. That's how it goes. It's just more difficult to stand out nowadays. And there are people who are standing out, by the way. There are these players. It's just more difficult to get there because everyone has access to the internet. The netcode is so good that any player can play almost anyone in the world if they want to and get a learning experience out of that. It's actually insane, like how much skill you can develop just from staying at your home and starting up the game. If you compare that to Third Strike, and you're telling me that Street Fighter 6 hasn't reached like a skillful level because of the mechanics of the game? Come on. That's nonsense. I can't help but heavily disagree with this. I mean, on top of that, playing at tournaments, by the way, is inherently more difficult the more players the more players go to tournaments, right? The more players sign up for any tournament, the more difficult it is to win. Even if you have like the most basic game, and I think Ryan is not gonna challenge that point. I think most people would agree with that. Even if you have a brain-dead game, the more players sign up, especially if the game is not skillful, the more difficult it's gonna be to win. Because you won't have any leverage, like you won't have... You can't differentiate yourself at that point, right? And then you have a massive player base. This is the argument, by the way, that is being spun, that modern fighting games, Street Fighter 6 in particular, is so easy that anyone can become great at the game. I don't see that at all. Like, what is it about Street Fighter 6 that is so easy to win? I really wonder. Like, what about the game is easy? I think the argument falls apart once you realize that Street Fighter has never been difficult because of one frame links. And let's say that's not the argument, right? Because, like, once again, with Street Fighter 4, and we did have one frame links with Street Fighter 4, the same thing happened. All of a sudden, like, this super niche group of super strong players wasn't able to dominate alone anymore. And that only happened because of how much bigger Street Fighter 4 was. So, I don't agree at all with this one. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm probably gonna just repeat myself too much if I just keep going on. But yeah, I think it's absurd to say, like, if we had a game, a new fighting game that was like Third Strike, then okay, maybe you can argue, well, it's not going to be as popular because the game mechanics are just not going to be as interesting to a lot of players. Fair enough. But do you really think that, like, a game like Third Strike wouldn't be like a handful of players would be dominating all tournaments and winning, like in Third Strike eras, for example? Like, no, that's not how it works. It's about how many players you have. It's always about how many players do you have. That's the difficulty for how difficult it is to win a tournament, and also the ceiling for the game. I think the beauty of fighting games in general, by the way, is you can simplify fighting games in a ridiculous way, and you can still have a skillful game. Dive Kick is a great example of that. Dive Kick is a game where you only have 2 buttons to press. But if you actually learn the game, you'll get much better than the average player. Like, that's how insane that is. You can even boil down a game to 2 buttons, and it will still have skill involved. You're telling me that the skill ceiling in Street Fighter 6 is not high enough? No. Also, I wanna repeat a quote here, okay? To Ryan, in a conversation that I previously had with him. That was in the Street Fighter 5 era. In the Street Fighter 5 era, Reinhardt said, like, he didn't want to be disrespectful, but he said when Mena RD won Capcom Cup in Street Fighter 5, he said, well, congratulations and everything, but this would never have happened in Street Fighter 4. And the implication is clear. If you're a new player, then if you're a new player, you wouldn't never be able to just touch someone who's as dominant as, like, the Japanese gods back in Third Strike. Or, like, I'm not even sure if he meant Street Fighter 4. I think he meant Street Fighter 4, but, like, don't quote me on that. Let's just say Third Strike as well. And look at Mena RD at the moment. Like, even with Street Fighter 6, he's one of the best players in the world. Clearly, he's one of the best players in the world. It wasn't a one-time fluke. He won Capcom Cup twice as the only person. So the idea that certain players come along and they just get lucky because the games are less skillful, we have seen this argument being made over and over again, by the way. I remember a time when NuckleDu qualifying for Street Fighter 4 Capcom Cup, there was an intense discussion around the qualifying rules, because players said, well, if a scrub like NuckleDu can qualify for Capcom Cup, anyone can. That was a real sentiment back in the early days of Street Fighter 4. Okay, just so you know. We've always had, I mean, nowadays, this is ridiculous. Because NuckleDu ended up being a Capcom Cup champion. He ended up being one of the best players in the world, right? Till this day. But back then, he was a new player when he came along. Kinda like Mena RD. So we keep repeating the same stories over and over again with that. So I think you would have to really, if you want to argue that a game like Street Fighter 6 has a lower skill ceiling, I think you have to go from a completely different angle. You can't just say, oh, it was easier to dominate in the early days of fighting games, therefore those games were more skillful. I think that's a really weak argument, and you can attack that argument very easily. You can argue the exact opposite direction. Well, if we only had a few players who are really good at the game, does that actually mean that did they actually have to try to win that much if they didn't have any competition? Why didn't they have any competition? Like, are you really gonna tell me that, oh, it's because they were gods, they were like completely different level? No. No. I'm pretty sure if I look at MOV and do a blood test on him, I will figure out he's actually a human being. He's actually not a god. Okay? Okay, I ended up ranting on even longer, but yeah. If I end up putting this on YouTube as a video, let me know. What do you think? Were old fighting games more skillful than new ones? And how would you measure that? I think that's even a better question. How would you measure that? I'm truly interested in your responses, because I have my own thoughts on this, and maybe this deserves some more attention on YouTube as well. I've been planning to make a video on this topic for a while, because I think I have figured out a good way to measure how skillful a game is. But maybe not for this video. I think I want to dedicate some more time and effort into a dedicated video for this topic. I think it's a fascinating topic. I think, like, how do you measure how skillful a game is for fighting games? That's a really good question, and I'd love to know your thoughts, so let me know in the comments below. I think there are things that modern games have that olders don't. Like, let's take a look at. By the way, let's talk a little bit more about execution. Okay, let's say one frame links are important for skill. Okay, one frame links are important for skill. So therefore, you can grind and then get really good at combos that a lot of other players are not able to do. Fair enough. So what happens if you drop that combo in a tournament? Oh, you die and you actually lose the match. Does that happen? Did that happen in Street Fighter 4 much? Yes, it did. So, what actually happens when you have these moments? If you have something that humans can't consistently execute, you end up creating. The cool thing is you can. It's a choice for players, right? But the problem is, if even Sako or like Haitani or like the best executing monsters in the world can't consistently do these combos, and we have plenty of clips of Sako dropping Sako combos, then that causes inconsistency. And inconsistency is the exact opposite of skillful play. You want to have predictable outcomes, right? If you're the best in the world at something, and you have a game that allows you to show that, then you're gonna be the winner, right? So I think this is quite a fascinating topic, because no matter what you look at it, and by the way, like take a look at all these old mechanics and their flaws. Street Fighter 4, if you landed a throw in Street Fighter 4, you could do an unblockable setup. I mean, I haven't played Third Strike, okay? So fair enough, I have not played Third Strike. But was there broken shit in Third Strike? Yes, there was. One of the things that is actually broken about Third Strike is how easy parries are. Parries in Third Strike have a 10-frame window and are cancelable into block. Is that skillful play? Like, is the parry in Third Strike skillful? It has a 10-frame window. That's more than Street Fighter 5 parry. Ryu's parry had a 7-frame window in Street Fighter 5, with 1,000,000 recovery frames to get punished if you miss it. Third Strike has a 10 active frames, and all 10 active frames can be cancelled into block. So you can option select parry all the time. You just tap forward, down, back, tap forward, down, back. Great. Very skillful. And then another thing. And you have option selects. Okay, I remember in Street Fighter 4 when we had backdash option selects, people were like, "Oh wow, this is skillful." We figured out a way to deal with multiple situations if you have 200 IQ. Okay? Only if you have 200 IQ points you can execute this. Right? In Street Fighter 5 that was basically removed because backdash was not fully invincible. And people were like, "Well, now you cannot express your skill anymore." But if you think about option selects, all option selects do is they cover multiple situations for you. You don't even have to think about the situation. Is that really skillful play if you're doing an input sequence that is just a checkmate for all situations? By the way, I'm not giving you answers for that. Like, I'm genuinely asking, what is more skillful?
Here comes a new challenger. Round one. Fight.
What's the frame rate of that? That looks punishable. Maybe I could have killed without it, but I really didn't want to risk it. Whoa. Fucked it up.
Knockout wins.
I can't do the Denjin charge. I cannot do the Denjin charge. I don't know what it is, but I frequently miss the input for it. Oh! I missed it again! God help me! I'm on Hitbox. But I've played competitive Street Fighter on all 3 input devices. I can play on pad, arcade stick, and Hitbox. Skill issue for sure, yeah. Should've just killed him.
Round 2. Fight.
Geht dir denn noch so? I have a kid, I have 2 kids. Schon wieder Blanca gewonnen. Da hab ich echt verkackt, ja.
Papa, ich sagte doch. Eva, musst du stärker.
Du musst immer die stärkste Kacke machen. Das stimmt. Du musst die stärkste Kacke machen. Stark, ja? Knopf. Und wir spielen bald wieder, ja? Ich will am Wochenende spielen. Ich will am Wochenende. Nee, das kann ich jetzt aber nicht machen. Dabei. Nächstes Mal, ja? Ja. Ui. Bitte, bitte. Das ist cool. Was ist das? Was ist das? Das ist witzig. Ey! You. You. You come on here. Come on here. Let her get a round in. Let me get a round in first. How about that? Whoa. Army remix, dude. Give me a second. You're messing with me. Give me a second. Dude. Thank you so much. Monkyo, by the way, I think I forgot to say thank you to you as well. I really appreciate the support. And Army Remix with a huge 20 gifted subs. I really appreciate that. Does Army Remix stream? Is there a shout-out command? Does that actually make sense? Yes! Army Remix does have a stream. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. 20 gifted subs. Gotta read all of them out, right? So enjoy your gifted subs. Gareth, here to have fun. Lord Sir Dusk, Vampy Choco, Adeli Ninja, Jimothy Pickles, Nokra, Scream Matt 333 AM. We have Typer, Nick, Green X and Dan, Chulix Fightcade, 7GP Luke, Kenshin, BRZ85, Gzuppy, Snuggles, Kush Juicy, Khalifa, ZJ Mac. We have Diamond, Black Scar, and 13 Kazu. Enjoy your gifted subs. Just a casual 20 bomb. Yep. Very much appreciated, my man. Once again, shoutouts to Army Remix for the love. Very much appreciated. Why wake up DP when I can perfect parry? Because throw will get wrecked if you perfect parry. Will I ever show you my son play around? Sure, at some point we can do that. Jimmy, do you think throw loops need to exist? They only need to exist because we have perfect parry. What's my son's main? JP. And Marisa. Now, he doesn't really... actually likes Dawson at the moment a lot, but I have not played a lot with him lately, to be honest. We're more focused on... good. An anonymous viewer has gifted 2 subs. Wow, that's not a solution. Even when he does the spin knuckle, that didn't work. Oh, I missed it. Ellen blow. I can't believe I still got it.
Ryu wins.
So yeah, Polystyrene Man and Kanji. I cannot read that out, unfortunately. Enjoy your gifted subs by an anonymous viewer. Thank you so much. Ah!
Round 2. Fight. Ryu wins.
Okay, there we go. Almost back to personal best. LCD, you like those combos, right?
Here comes a new challenger.
Let's go, Beslam!
Round 1. Fight.
does that on purpose. So should not have done that. My bad. I was hard reading a different response. That was not smart. I'm in a bad spot as a result.
Luke wins. Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Fight round. Fight.
Hey Jimmy, why do you have such a stream name? Are you going to play some Street Fighter 3rd Strike or SMTH?
Ah! I'm never gonna fall for that shit. You knew I need to be very worried there. Ah, I'm so upset about this though. Man, that was upsetting. I still don't know how to play footsies against this shitty character. Man! I need to play longer sets, I think, with Beslam. I really need to learn this shit. Mad Max, thank you so much for the 14 months on Twitch. I really appreciate that, dude. Jimmy, why do you have such a stream name? Are you going to play some Street Fighter 3rd Strike or something? No, it's because I want to have a conversation around the idea. Reinhardt in a clip I mean, might as well show the clip again for those who missed this sequence. I've already given my opinion. I'm only going to give you a TLDR if you're interested. Basically, this is the clip that I'm referencing.
The quality of games have gotten easier. So now, people that weren't even able to touch these guys before are now able to do okay, or be on par, or even win sometimes. Take like a MOV or like a Haitani or someone, and play those guys on Street Fighter 6 or Street Fighter 5. You might do alright, you might even win. But play either of those on Street Fighter 3 and you'll get cooked.
Done.
It will be 20-0. Like, people don't understand the difference in the actual levels of the guy. It's not that the guy is good, but you've improved and now you're on the level. No, the game has given you access to him because the game is easier now. And you can tell it's easier now by how many good players there are. Like, everyone's good now.
Yes.
That says everything. Why isn't there a limited playing field to who gets good? Why does everyone get to get good? Because the game's easy. Third Strike, you weren't seeing hordes of people get good because the game was mad hard.
Yeah, so I argued that the argument is nonsense, in that the metric by how it was measured is very flawed. You can't just say, well, look at how many people are good. That's not a great way to analyze things, because how many people are going to be good is dependent on the community size. We have a much bigger community size nowadays, obviously. So I think it's a flawed argument. I think you could try to make this argument, right? But you need to spin it in a completely different direction for it to make sense. No, the argument is supposed to be that not many players are good. The game is actually so limiting that you can't become good. That's what is being said. So players are good because you can't be bad. That's the argument. You cannot become really good at the game. Everybody's good at the game. Why? Well, because the game is easy. There's nothing to learn. And I think that's complete nonsense. Also, there's a there was something that Ryan said that I also want to talk about.
The quality of
I remembered something.
Gotten easier. So now, people that weren't even able to touch these guys before.
Oh yeah.
Able to.
So people who are not able to touch these guys before. Now, this is an interesting take that I also have not considered. Is there even a single player in Street Fighter 6 who was considered like a bad player, like not good enough to win a serious tournament, that was now suddenly with Street Fighter 6 able to win? I don't know a single player who was able to do that. So I think the argument is where's the basis for this argument? Shannon would still 20-0 me today, just like back in the day. He's arguing that Street Fighter 4 was all set play and cross-ups. I also think this is a nostalgia moment. It kind of reminds me, by the way, of the comment from Alex Valle, where, and by the way, I have a lot of respect for Alex Valle. In fact, I had great conversations with him at Capcom Cup last year. He's clearly like deserving of his spot in the FGC and everything. But when he said that back in the days it was harder to win a tournament, I think a lot of people looked at the comment and were like, yeah, that's simply not true. Like, if you have like a tournament and you have 100 signups, How could that possibly be easier to win than a tournament with 6,000 signups? How could that possibly end up being true? And once again, you would have to go into in the same direction that Ryan is going. You would have to argue that the games were more skillful back in the days, and we only had a handful of really skillful players who are so exceptionally gifted that they can use the mechanics of the games correctly and reach the highest level. And everybody else couldn't. That's the argument that you have to spin, and I think that's really difficult to make that argument. You would have to. Yes, that's a really tough one to make. Like that, those are bold claims. I think you're obsessing over his opinion. How am I obsessing? What? I see where both of you are coming from, though. It's certainly easier to get better at Street Fighter 6 faster. Yeah, but how does that make it easier? How does it make it easier to get good? Because now, if you want to win a tournament, you have to, like, imagine you're. It doesn't, right? It doesn't. I think that's like an important fact. Of course, it's easier to acquire a good level of skill. The skill level, the baseline has risen dramatically, and it's not because the game is easier. It's because access to how to get good at the game is dramatically easier. That's what changed. You have a million, like you have so much more players. You have an online mode that actually works. You have internet that is being used completely differently. I'm just saying it will be more frustrating for new players to learn Third Strike. Yeah, the player base will simply be smaller. If you have a game that is not actively played, it doesn't make it more skillful. Does I don't know, there's like a Sailor Moon game on the Super Nintendo that is a fighting game. Is that the most difficult game to play because nobody plays it? Like, what's the benchmark? Just because you have games that aren't popular, does that automatically make them more skillful? You have to argue with the mechanics. You have to argue this game had a higher ceiling that humans were able to attain. And humans are limited in Street Fighter 6. That's the argument that you have to spin. So you actually have to explain the mechanics. You can't just say, oh, nowadays we have more players and they are good. And therefore, that's the idea for why it's easier for why the games aren't as skillful nowadays. That doesn't make, like, that's not how you can coherently make an argument about skill. What do I think of chess versus checkers? I don't even know what checkers is. I only know it by name. And I barely have any experience with chess. Come on, Zayd. Come on. Don't waste my time. I need those points. Okay, that's a bit of a risk, but he's in a terrible spot here.
Ryu wins. Round 1. Fight.
Oh no, too greedy. Okay, take this done. My bro, take it. You can have it. It's all yours. Should have just killed him. Could I have killed him with a level 3 there?
Ryu wins. Online.
It's hard to explain, but the speed of the game is different. You won't feel like your correct guesses mean anything versus someone better than you in Third Strike. Yeah, but why? If you're guessing correct in Street Fighter 6 and your opponent is like way better than you are, if you're comparing like a master rank player to a silver rank player, isn't it the same thing? It's the same thing. You won't guess yourself to victory if the skill level is too far apart. The skill level, but now you have to argue that the skill level in Third Strike is so far apart, not because there's less experience with the game itself, because there are less players, but because the skill ceiling is much higher than other games. You have to show that, actually. You have to... If you're making a statement like that, you can't just go by feel or by how many players do we have. That's not an argument. You have to show with the mechanics that they allow for more skillful play. And that's not easy to do, because now you have to define, well, how do you even measure that? Like, you have to make a definition for that, and then you have to have people agree on that. It's actually too subjective. I don't think the ceiling is higher. I think the entry level learning is higher. Yeah, so the skill floor, those two concepts are skill floor and skill ceiling. The skill floor is higher in what? The skill floor has been is higher in the new games. Why is the skill floor higher in the new games? Because that's simply, like, skill floor is actually very simple. A skill floor, you can determine the skill floor with the... Actually, it's not that simple. Wait a minute, it's not that simple. The problem is, if you only have a couple, like very few players, but all of them are very dedicated, this is a typical case for like a small niche community, right? Then the worst player that you will find is actually at a decent level. But if the game is played by many players, if that's how you define it, by the way, then the worst player that you can find is going to be much worse. Street Fighter Third Strike parry system has to get fine-tuned over multiple games. What is that supposed to be an argument for? Let me see, what was the previous comment, Evil Kevin. Also, we're comparing Third Strike that has had 2 previous versions to Street Fighter 6. True, but I mean, the argument that I hear, and it's not the first time, I don't think this is the first time Riot has made this claim. Going from Street Fighter 4 to 5, he already claimed that it's easier to win. Like, it's easier to be a no-name and then go and win Capcom Cup. You know? That's something I discussed with him even before Street Fighter 6. And I just really disagree with that. Yeah, what does hard mean? What does hard mean? Third Strike parry has more leniency than Street Fighter 5 parry, and no recovery. What is hard about that? Like, serious question. Is it harder if you have something that is objectively easier to execute? With no punish that can be option selected into a block. Is that hard? Perfect parry has 5 times more difficulty. Regular parry in Street Fighter 6 does not have any benefits. It has the same block stun values as regular block. So unless you're perfect parrying, you're not actually benefiting from the parry. Unless we count drive gauge, but I don't think people are really arguing about that. Perfect parry is 5 times more difficult and is punishable. It does give meter, true. But are you telling me that if I add Street Fighter 7 and I give the new parry a 10 frame window, and during that 10 frame window I can still block if I miss the parry timing, and I can tech throws as well, are you telling me that's more difficult for Street Fighter 7? Like, I think there is a fundamental discussion to be had what skillful play actually is. Do you make like a skillful game just by having difficult execution? If you make every combo with like every link, every combo possible a 1 frame link, do you get the highest skillful play, like the highest skill in the game? Is that how you get there? I don't think that's how you get there. Anyways, let's focus. And with focus, I mean DP. That was just an execution error.
Cammy wins. Round 1. Fight.
Hard also doesn't make it skillful. That's actually an interesting discovery if you really think about it. Just because you made something hard does not mean you made it more. You raised the skill level. It actually didn't do that. Guess tried every time.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh my god.
Ryu wins. Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight.
Oh no! Disaster. Oh! Oh, I should have done level 3. It would have killed him. Man, I was not ready for that. Why was I not ready? I should have seen that coming. I think I was worried about it not killing. I should have known, but that interruption was killer, so I should have known it was gonna kill, right? That's how it works, right guys? Whoa! Oh my god, I'm so worried about not getting it now. I'm so worried about the down-down input.
Real wins.
I'm pressing it so patiently there.
Great match.
Is there a reason to why you do 2 crouching light kicks and standing light punch now instead of crouching light punch? It doesn't get interrupted as much as it used to, or at least that's my I thought that's maybe it. I don't know. I'm this is not something I actively think about, Red. At some point I switched around the options and then I'm using one more than the other, probably because instinctively I figured it has a higher chance of success. But I can't tell you why. By the way, guys, so imagine to get back to the discussion about skillful play, okay? Just because combos are easier in new games does not mean that the skill required to play on a level where you're winning tournaments is lower. And I think you can actually you can show that quite easily that this is not necessarily the case. Like if you imagine you're driving a race for the Formula 1, right? And the racetrack that you're trying to get through, in the old version, you would have to wear gloves that are really slippery, and therefore turning the wheel would be difficult to do. So you'd actually have trouble with the basics, right? And now in the new version, they actually give you gloves that don't have the slippery the slippery problem anymore. What actually happens when you're when you do stuff like that? In a previous version, just as a comparison, if you make combos more difficult, if you have slippery controls that are harder, then the racetrack simply has to be easier for you to complete it, or you're simply going to be slower at it. One or the other. So with the new version, even though controlling is easier, it doesn't mean that the tracks that you're racing are going to be any easier to complete. You're just going to be faster because you're going to have more control. The difficulty of a fighting game is not defined by how difficult the combo system is. It's really important to understand that. It can be tied to it. It can be part of the reason why a game has a lot of depth to it. But it's not, it's not a binary thing. Have a difficult combo system, that's your skill. I'm a tennis player and I hate how good rackets have gotten now. It's almost cheating. Yeah, but this is another example. If the rackets get better, then the baseline just moves up. It doesn't mean that the ceiling has gotten any lower. It's nonsense. Even if the baseline gets up, it doesn't mean that getting to the top is easier. In fact, it's going to be more difficult because the top is probably higher now. I think with tennis, it's probably an even better example. If you have more control, if the racket that you're using gives you the ability to control the ball better, then isn't the highest level of play higher? Because players are simply going to be the point that I usually want to make is human beings are incredibly intelligent, and the limiting factor for competitive play is usually not the mechanics, but the humans that you're fighting. And this is why the player base matters. It's more difficult to win tournaments because you have to win against smarter people. If you have 100,000 people in your community, then the top 10 players are going to be completely different caliber players than if you have 100 players for your fighting game. It's very important to understand that. It depends on how much tech you want altering your game. Fair enough. I think like this is a fair argument to make. Like if you think like the current technology like makes it so that the baseline for the game itself gets shifted. I mean, this is why you see changes in rules all the time. Like rules change because the baseline changes all the time. If the field for playing tennis, like the court, all of a sudden is, I don't know, like too small because people, maybe I can't make this argument, but you know where I'm going, you know? You always have to adjust all parameters based on, well, what you're currently doing. If you make one thing easier, then you have to adjust other stuff to make a coherent, like, to have like a cohesive like experience, right? Coherent experience. That's what I want to say. Not cohesive. That's a different word. But anyways, like the point being, you would have to argue, once again, you would have to argue how to measure skill and why it was, and why the ceiling for the skill was higher to reach back in the day. That's something you would have to show. You would have to show a direct correlation between your game's mechanic and skill. I just think there should be a limit to how much technology you're adding. This guy has 10 wins in a row. Give me a second.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh no! Oh no! I misclicked again.
Honda wins.
He doesn't want to go again. How much you want to bet? He's not gonna go again. He's not gonna go again. He's too worried. He's too worried? No, he's not. Just because I misclicked, I really need to remove that button. Oh, that's how he gets 10 wins, guys. He just rage quits when he loses. What a bum. For sure. God. Take a look at that. That's even a secondary account. Jesus Christ, how stupid is that? And he's in the ISTD club. Like, checks out, you know? Check his CFN matches. Ah, man. I'm pretty sure I actually blacklisted a lamer boy before.
Here comes a new challenger.
Let's go. Is that the real problem X? Probably. Let's go. Wow, he delayed so much.
Round 2. Fight.
Wow. I didn't confirm that. I just didn't believe that was gonna work. Nice. I should always consider that. Even trying to get into the range, I wasn't quite there. Damn, I'm gonna lose a bunch of points here.
Marisa wins. Round 1. Fight.
Damn, I couldn't get the reads that I needed.
Marisa wins.
I need to neutral jump a couple of these attempts from him. I was too aware I was buffering DP. If you win a match after losing one, you should get back all your points you're lost. No. If you're losing a match to someone who's ranked lower than you, then you deserve to lose points. More. Like, that should be obvious. If you get points equal to, like, just by counting every match equally, then what's the point of the skill system? Is every, like, win equally rewarding? If I win against Problem X versus Bob123, that's the same thing. Wow, he was ready. Good shit. Oh no. Oh man. Let's go. So satisfying. So fucking satisfying. That's my teammate, by the way. MDZ Empty Sis. Damn it. Rig for the highlight reel. No. Let's go. Emphasis is German, yeah. Oh! There we go. Man, that was such a like. I thought like, okay, what do I do when I got to level 2? I was like, okay, let's just hold it down. Like, what else am I supposed to do? And got the miracle comeback, guys. Like, that was seriously the most absurd way to get a comeback. Oh, you know what? You know what? I think you should always end a stream on a high note, right? I think I'm not gonna get higher than that. Why do you walk back when burned out instead of standing your ground? I only walk backwards when I'm trying to either buffer a level 2, because that requires me to walk backwards slowly. Or I'm trying to get outside the range of the drive impact and then try to establish a fireball game. You can do that, but it's quite risky. If you walk forward, then like that's a strategy as well, and sometimes I apply that. Sometimes I'm purposely in range so I can do a normal into a level 1 super on reaction, right? I do that plenty of times. It's not always the right choice. Sometimes a better choice is to be defensive and guess that the opponent is gonna take an aggressive, is gonna take the initiative aggressively and then punish him for that. Doesn't always work out, but well, nothing is guaranteed, you know. Yo, Jäger, GG's gestern auf jeden Fall, schön gespielt. Anyways, I think that'll be it for today. I think I've had my fun for today. That was quite something right there. I like that. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the stream as well. Thank you so much for the crazy support I've been getting lately. It really means a lot. It really supports the channel a lot, obviously. It's very much appreciated. Let me see who's currently streaming. Akarine is streaming, so let's host him as well. Akarine, let's do this. Jimmy doesn't provide answers. Would you say it makes more sense if I did it after I reach something like Diamond? That's on you, Chango. Like, what's the value that you see in playing a set against me? That's really up to you to decide. I can't give you an answer to that. If you want to learn something, then I think it can go both ways, you know? Because like if you challenge me from a lower level, then like seeing the difference in skill is sometimes like that can be a real shock for people, but gets also can get people excited to get better. That's actually what happened to me in Street Fighter 4 when I wasn't that good. I thought I was good, but then I played a really strong player for the first time, and I just couldn't believe the difference. That was a very motivating situation for me. Then in Street Fighter, then obviously if you get closer to my level, you can appreciate the nuances a little bit more, and like the tiny differences in gameplay that can make that will decide who's gonna win. Hamad, what's the reason that I choose your stream, Jimmy, when Paladin is streaming? We're both German. That would be the reason. K Besinia official, good to see you. Lindamente. I shall. Save it for when your ego gets big and you need to get humbled. That's a good one as well. I like that. Anyways, I'm going to be hosting Acarine, as I said. And thank you so much for tuning in to today's stream. If you haven't already, check out the Twitter. YouTube tutorial going live in 1 hour and 30 minutes, unless you're a YouTube member. Then you can watch it immediately. Streaming tomorrow? Yes, I will. Here's my Twitter. Here's my Discord. If you want to be part of the Jimmy family, join my Discord server. That would be very much appreciated. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you're on YouTube, on Twitch, I'm going to send you guys over to Acarine's stream. I really hope you're going to be enjoying that one. Once again, thanks a lot for all the support. Take care, and I'll see you guys soon.